Hello everyone, we're just getting set up here in advance of the grand finals with a very special co-caster with me. Got Mrs. Kong in the passenger seat.
Hello.
And we also have a couple of probably incidentally noisy backseat Dobermans.
Two of them.
Because they're not currently locked up away from the studio. If we're both in here, they kind of need to have access to us so they don't get really upset. So we'll see if they behave for the stream or not. I'm just going to go ahead and make sure I get the chat set up so that I can see it. And maybe I will even put Mrs. Kong in charge of the chat. We'll see. Oh good, one of the Dobermans has brought down a very loud, hard bone to chew on while we're watching this match, so... Hey Latonin, welcome to the chat. Okay, so we have a couple minutes before the actual match begins, so I'm going to take this opportunity to get the pre-stream pour out of the way in advance. Actually, I should wait till there's more people here for that, because I know how much people cherish the sweet, sweet sounds of soda. Let's just take a quick look at this matchup then. So for today's match, we have Autorun on the left. And Autorun has actually, this account has won the Apex Arena Championship before, back in Season 5. And he's been in the playoffs every season, usually ranking quite well.
That's his name?
Autorun is this player, yeah.
It sounds like just playing against the computer.
Yeah, that might be the mind games. And then we have Tradey. Tradey on the right side.
I like that better.
And Tradey has been in the playoffs for the past every season as well. So we have two seasoned playoff performers here in the finals, so it'll be an interesting match. Personally, I think Autorun is probably the safer bet of the two if you're considering using your aid tickets. Everyone gets free aid tickets anyway, so I think Autorun has a better chance of coming out on top in this match. The only thing is the odds are heavily in Autorun's favor, so if you do choose to bet on Autorun, it won't be as much of a return. If you are feeling daring and you want to put all your money on an underdog, then Tradey might pay off a lot more for you if that happens.
You're never going to beat the computer.
The computer's actually extremely easy to beat in this game. Titan Bradicus, welcome to the chat. Catching the stream early. You got your carbonated watermelon flavored beverage today too. Alright, well that's a good cue for me to get the pour going here, since this match is going to start in just a few seconds.
Will we get to watch it?
Oh yeah. That's the whole point. That's what we're here for. We're going to watch and chat along. So we're getting a kind of a dual-purpose ASMR here going. We got the pre-stream pour, and we also have Dobermans chewing bones in the background. Okay, so the match is up. So let's get loaded in and take a look, and band pick will get started in just a moment. I'm going to make sure that I have my stream link posted on Discord so people know we're live. All right.
Oh look, someone asked about us.
How are the Kongs doing? Yeah. Make the channel just clips of ASMR noises. A compilation full of the ASMR stuff will just end up being a whole bunch of me pouring sodas and that one clip of Trisket talking like Jugler. So I'm not sure how much appeal there will be for that. Alright, both players have loaded in. Thank you for the follow, Braden. So let's take a look at their boxes. Autorun's got Sigma in the box. We might get a chance to see some Sissy White play, so that's interesting. And Tradey using a very similar box to what we already saw yesterday. He's got Vincent in the initial box this time.
How do you know that?
These characters, when you've been playing for a few years, you get pretty good tabs on who the characters all are.
I was going to say they don't even have, like, a legend or a name.
Someone in the chat yesterday wanted me to get you to rate the characters based on their appearance, without knowing anything else about them. We could do that some other time.
I can already tell who I pick.
Oh, really? Who's your favorite on this screen so far?
This one.
This one here?
Yeah.
So Mrs. Kong is a big fan of Christiane. So she's over here too.
Oh.
She's a new, very popular character, so both players are possibly going to be taking advantage of her. We might get to see her in action.
They all kind of look like Astro Boy.
Yeah, that's the kind of Japanese animation style that they use here. Moondoggy, welcome to the chat. He says you have great taste, Mrs. Kong.
I try.
Okay, so we are getting started. So during this phase, this is ban pick. So the players will only fight with 5 characters each. So they get a chance here to like pick the characters that they're going to be using, and the opponent can also choose characters that they don't want to fight against. So it's a little extra strategic phase before the battle actually starts. And any noise I make slurping my drink, I can just blame on the Dobermans now. It's not a bad idea to have them down here. Alright, final match. So chat, did you guys put in any bets, or did you hold on to your tickets, or did you use them all yesterday? What's your betting situation look like going into this game? Moondreamer, so good to have Mrs. Kong there.
Oh, that's nice. That's really nice.
Moondoggy all in on Tradey. All in on Auto. A couple all-ins on Auto. Nice.
Are they betting?
They're betting in-game money, yeah. So Tradey's getting Lucretia out first. So securing a really good DPS unit. And Autorun going with first pick Liana. That's interesting. I did not name the Doberman Jugler, although the older Doberman did dress up as Jugler for Halloween one year. Basically, I just put a little bone on her head to make fun of the fact that Jugler's headgear is a bone. But the older Doberman is named Donut, and the younger Doberman is Applesauce, as we all know. You can see Applesauce in the corner of my overlay here, right on the screen, right beside my face. That's an actual picture of her running. Okay, so both players getting their Lucretias, and Tradey has Kyra. How do you think things are going so far, Mrs. Kong?
I'm just interested by the fact that people are betting. It reminds me of, we've been watching Peaky Blinders where they're betting on all the horse races with the chalkboard with all the names up, and this is just a digital version of that.
Yeah? Are the horse races fixed?
Yes.
They are?
I'm hoping this isn't fixed.
It's most of the time not fixed. Most of the time.
Okay.
Sometimes there are suspicions about players throwing matches or coming to agreements. All right, so we're going to get to see Christiane in action. So right away, I think that Mrs. Kong is going to be cheering for Tradey. Sergey, I just put a couple bets on Autorun. I didn't go all in. It's much less eventful and consequential than on Peaky Blinders.
Ah!
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's probably true.
That wouldn't be hard.
My account is actually very gold poor right now. I only have about 2 million gold, so even though I'm pretty sure Autorun's going to win, I didn't want to spend a whole bunch of money just buying tickets when I could be using that money for enchants.
Oh, I'm reading the description now that I was on the April Fool's episode of Should You Summon, trying to pronounce those names with no practice whatsoever and having to talk like
you knew what you were talking about?
some authority.
Yeah, I had the normal script for Should You Summon, and I intentionally didn't let her see it or read it in advance. I just set her down in front of the mic in the studio and gave it to her and said, here you go. But I think she did a fairly respectable job.
My God, when I heard about what the names were supposed to sound like. Ugh.
Okay, and we are going to get a Bozel 5th pick from Tradey. Autorun is going to have a couple healers, though. 2 Act Again healers as player 2, which is pretty OP as it is. Okay, so we've got Liana, who's a pretty good anti-debuff healer, and Sissy White. Both have access to an Act Again.
Moondreamer and Jason are talking to me. That's nice of them.
Moondreamer, Ms. Kong, how do you feel about Kong's passion for the game? Is it contagious and interesting, or a bit too much for you?
I mean, I don't necessarily understand it, but I think it's wonderful to have, and really important to have, passionate interests, like I have in Dobermans.
Yeah, that doesn't mean you have to actively get into the game and enjoy the game yourself.
I just think it's really good to have interests.
Tradey with the upper hand. So yeah, Tradey has several dangerous DPS. No healing is the only thing, but as long as Tradey manages to keep the initiative, that might not end up being a problem.
Wasn't Tradey the underdog?
Tradey's the underdog by votes. So this is the finals, so they're both like fighting for the championship here. So it's really hard to say at this point who's the underdog in terms of actual like skill and stuff. Yeah, Tradey might have some incidental healing with like a Gift of Eternal Life on Lucretia too, which could help. But it looks like he's really going for jump in and finish the game once the engagement starts. Like Bozel, Ares with AoE, some long-range attackers here. I think it'll just really be interesting to see how the actual engagement unfolds.
I could agree more. Passion is cool. Yep. That's true. It's true.
April's episode was the best thing that happened to you that day?
Ah!
Alright, let's see what we got for soldiers and skills. So Lucretia has got archers, and she's going with a single target kit. Kyra with a couple. We got Phalanx on Christiane. Single target, Ares. We got Lancers on Bozel, which makes sense against these two cavalry threats.
Ooh, look at the last comment. It's amazing. That's amazing. It's the looking down on the screen.
And we have almost an AoE, like a split build on her.
It's so crowded.
So now this is interesting. The Autorun's Helena brought angels, and Tradey kind of called it with archers on Lucretia. So, Mrs. Kong, do you find all the tatas in the game awkward and anti-gravity? as Sergei's wife does.
Maybe I just have really poor vision, but I can't get over how crowded the screen is.
The actual battle screen?
Yes.
So, yeah, I mean, it might be a lot to take in for someone who's not used to looking at it.
It's hard to differentiate, and looking down on the screen just reminds me of, like, the map of Mario 3.
So this is just the characters that Tradey has picked to make it easy to see, like, who's still alive. This is the characters that Autorun has, and then this is how much time they have left to make their actions over the rest of the game. But in here, it's pretty straightforward. Like, these are his 5 characters, or 6, because this is a little, like, puppet buddy. And this is just the terrain on the map. So as time goes on, we're waiting for Tradey to make his first move here. We'll see. Not his first move, second move. We'll see them moving towards each other on the map and casting their spells and stuff. Lux, welcome to the stream. She does not call me Kong at home most of the time.
I think the game blew its budget on the little characters and not on the map.
Well, the characters are the ones that you have to be enticed to pay for.
Yeah, I can see that.
Which is also where the tatas come into play. Yeah, I think we'll keep the banter off for the sake of all of our sanity. I will say this for the game, though, there is a variety of maps. It's not always this little forest map. I think there's about 10 maps.
Okay.
And it randomly chooses them. So there's like a cave map, and there's an ice map, and there's a, like, floating castle map. But yeah, you can't really get a full appreciation for the characters' like art and skins just from this little screen. So I think we like Moondoggy's idea of having Mrs. Kong rate the characters later. Maybe we'll put on some EOL skins and see how she rates them when she can see their full body art.
Yeah, right now I only see tiny faces. About the size of a dime.
Trisket, without the banter, how will I know what people are saying about my small chest? It's true, I'm sure. You need a constant reminder. Or about which streamers are gay. That's pretty much all the banter chat. I think most people in banter don't know I'm streaming, so there probably won't be too many salty comments about me in there.
Oh, they get salty?
Banter is basically anonymous chat.
Oh.
So people can type whatever they want in there and it'll float across the screen. So anonymous, anything online anonymous is bound to get salty at some point. Either salty or just mindlessly irrelevant. Titan, I think you're going to be pretty lucky and probably get Matthew in 80 summons, yeah. What has your past luck been on raid-up banners? 40% sounds bad on paper, but when you think about it, that's really just 1/2 of a raid-up banner. So if you're used to summoning for both characters on a new unit banner, one of those characters that you hit would essentially be Dark Matthew. Lots of people are just being really careful with their stashes, knowing that they could get screwed over. I always will point people back to my albedo summoning session where I did like 460 summons and did not get Shaltir. So if that was all off-banner, non-Matthew characters, I'd be a sad Kong.
I'm glad they know what they're doing.
Alright, so we've got a just a summoned cavalry going in for a ram on Christiane. She's immune to the debuff, though. Or no, she's not. Okay, that gives Autorun the opportunity to come in with a big Helena, immediately erasing the Kyra and splashing a lot of AoE. That... Tradey's gonna have a hard time recovering from that. It's certainly possible. So that's essentially a Helena for Kyra trade.
Oh, goodness.
With the difference being that Tradey's units are currently in much worse shape. Autorun still has Lucretia and Elwyn available as DPS. So we got sneaky Sissy White launching the... Yeah, I can see Tradey tapping out after this. Autorun knows to keep the pressure on. Lucretia's in danger here, but she's basically done what she's meant to do. This team is pretty crippled now.
I really like the little purple exploding fog machine.
Well, that's basically what this guy is for. If we got to see more of him in action, he's a purple exploding fog machine pretty much every turn. Yeah, I'm sharding up Sissy White on the side.
What are those little red things on the ground? They look like origami.
These?
Yeah.
The character who is dead now, but the horse lady who charged in, she leaves those little spiky tiles all over the ground, and they give her bonuses when she's walking on them. And this is Poison Fog. Each turn it encroaches further and further into the map, and if you end your turn on that, you die. So it basically forces the two players not to hang out in the back. They have to gradually approach each other. It basically creates more opportunities for action. And thank you for the follow, by the way, Basara. Sorry I missed that earlier.
Yeah, thank you. Oh, Berlin's
Angry upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
Is she angry, or is she getting another toy?
I really like the little
Oh yeah, she got another
man
toy.
on the dragon. That's cute.
Yes, Ares. He's feeling upset right now. Tradey's not 100% out of this game yet. Anytime you have a tank and a Bozal, there's still hope. This is where the pressure of high-level PvP comes into play, and we'll see if Tradey can recover. Yeah, we're feeling like we want animations on. I guess it's more action for Mrs. Kong, isn't it? And since the match is live, it's not like we're saving much time by having animations off anyway, since we have all the thinking time in between actions.
What does that mean?
Now when they fight, we'll get to see their little soldiers.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Whoever suggested that, thank you.
Okay, so we basically have Elwyn and a couple healers now. Gold Magistrate wants to see Mrs. Kong play some of the game.
Ha! I don't think I could control those little Astro Boys.
She's already intimidated enough by Autorun's name, thinking that playing against the computer is really hard.
Yeah, it reminds me of, like in Scrabble. Online Scrabble or something.
Oh, Sissy White barely survives! We do have AoE follow-up from Bozel. She won't be surviving that if he gets a chance to get it off. So Sissy retreating and healing herself. Yeah, Moon, I agree. One of the strong things about Tradey's ban pick is that he had several weapons, so losing one wasn't as crippling as it could have been. So Elwyn is going to try his hand here at getting through these phalanx. But phalanx are too OP. And with that as Autorun's only DPS option, I don't know, maybe he's hoping he can gradually wear down this Christian without a healer, but while he's doing that, we're going to have Lucretia, Ares, and Bozel all wailing on the rest of this team. So yeah, I think Tradey has this one pretty safe. I'm pretty sure he moved 4 on that one, Moondoggy. I might be wrong.
It's kind of like chess.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot like chess. There's also all kinds of little intangible things that beginners don't pick up on right away. So the obvious stuff is the characters fighting each other. But then there's other little mechanics like who gets to go in what order. So it's called turn priority. So that you can, like, if you have turn priority, you can end your turn in an aggressive position, knowing that you'll get to go first next turn, and you can kind of follow up on your aggressive position. So it's just something that... another thing that people have to think about when they're planning their strategies several turns in advance. The other thing is, this whole time when Tradey's thinking about what he's going to do next, he only has a certain amount of backup time available to think about his action. I think you start the match with 5 minutes of backup time, and it clocks down and you don't get it back. You get like 15 seconds free action every turn, and then you start dipping into your backup time. So once that's gone, he's going to have a big, like, 15-second clock in his face telling him he has to act right away, and that's even more pressure when you're trying to make a decision.
Yeah, I don't think I'd like that.
Okay, so we're getting another sissy white Cav coming into play here. But it's... well, I guess it might still matter because... oh no, she's going to get the double kill on Elwyn. So that's it. That would have been a decent strategy if Autorun were able to keep Elwyn alive there, because then he could have picked off another unit. So that is game 1 to Tradey. And now we're starting game 2, and it chooses a new map, and they go through pick ban again. It's best of 3, so the first person to win 2 games gets the championship.
That makes sense.
So Tradey needs to win 1 more game, but if Autorun wins this one, then it goes into game 3, which
and
is
then whoever wins that one is the...
Yep.
Okay, that makes sense.
So right now, we're waiting to see if they are going to make any adjustments to their box. Each player has a side box, with it has some more characters in there, so they can adjust their strategy based on either the map or what happened in the last game. So they may make some substitutions here.
I didn't know which dog this was.
This is the older, bigger dog. You can tell by all the lumps. Hello, lumpy lady. Moondoggy going 12 tickets on Tradey, going for that big payout. Alright, so Tradey brings up Liana and Himiko. Autorun bringing up Iris and Omega, so we might get to see some Omega lol strats. What do you think of those substitutions, Mrs. Kong?
Yeah. I'm just looking at the map. It's like when, I don't remember which world it was, but in Mario 3 when they're underwater. That's what it reminds me of.
I think there's probably going to be a lot of Mario 3 references in this chat. Oh, I see the big betters on Tradey are coming out in the chat now. Yeah, Sergey, you can buy them before the game in the... you can only buy 5 per day, but in the little Apex interface where the tickets are up in the side, you can pay, I think it's 150,000 gold per ticket. So Autorun going with first pick Omega. Mario 3 being one of the... It makes up a large proportion of the total number of video games Mrs. Kong has played.
That's correct.
I told them yesterday that you've played Mario Kart with us, too.
I have. I also enjoy Excite Bike.
Excite Bike? That's an old one. Yeah, I don't know if... How Omega-proof is Tradey's team going to be? Maybe... I'm sure Autorun has done his research. Sergey, the payout for 12 tickets depends on the odds for each player. So if, like, 10,000 people had all voted for Autorun and no one voted for Tradey, then 12 tickets on Tradey would be an immense payout. Okay, so we're getting Christiane in action again.
Does the Admiral play this game?
Oh, yes.
I figured. So he'd be one of these people?
Potentially. Which people?
The people playing.
He could be, but he's not.
No, not tonight, but he has before.
Yep. He's been in the studio playing this, playing his own playoff matches with us. That'll be interesting to see in play, Moondoggy. I want to see how this Omega strat goes down now. Oh, we're getting a real pylon of DPS from Autorun's side this time. He doesn't want to fall into that same trap that he did last game, where he had no weapons. Trung, thanks for the sub. And welcome to the chat.
Oh, I like his little marching zombie man.
Yes, we love to see the marching zombie mans. Moondoggy was single-handedly responsible for a few of them coming up on the screen yesterday. MSX, welcome to the chat. Tradey took round 1. It was an interesting match, though. We got to see some big brain, sissy white guard cancelling plays. Alright, so we're going to see Autorun without a tank again. But with full bore 5 DPS. With Omega and Kyra as an assassin. We got T-Jess in there for teleport shenanigans. Hey Ahmed, welcome to the chat. Okay, Mrs. Kong, who do you think has the advantage going into Game 2 here?
That deploy hero for Autorun at the top looks quite menacing.
This menacing Omega, yeah, he's scary. So you're leaning towards Autorun in this game?
I think so.
Mrs. Kong believes that Omega's scary looking enough that Autorun has the edge.
Menacing.
Menacing, sorry. He is a menace.
So are they just setting up now?
Now they're setting up their skills and soldiers on the map. We don't get to see that part. But we will get to see, it'll all be revealed once we load into the actual pirate ship map. And you can let us know whether you like this map better than the grassy one that you said was kind of boring.
It was boring. A bit of a letdown.
I'm doing all right, Ahmed. I'm still, you can probably tell from my voice, I'm still recovering from my cold a little bit. But we're getting better, we're getting better. And thank you for the follow, Damesco. I didn't see that one come up on the screen, but I see your name there beside Jugler, so thank you. Alright, let's see what we got. We got Cavalry Helena on Tradey's side.
Oh, I like the ships.
We've got Phalanx on Christiane again, we've got Kyra, we've got a single target Lucretia, and a fairly typical Bozel. We've got a faction buffing Ares, standard Omega, and we've got Cav on Helena as well. Hello there, smaller Doberman. Alright, so Kyra's getting the Bozel buff on Tradey's side. MSX, do we know for sure who Tradey is, or who the pilot is? I mean, I think at this point it's no secret that Tradey's account is being piloted by Chinese or Taiwanese pilot, but I wasn't sure who it was specifically. We do not have Leviathans on this Omega, Moondoggy. Yeah, that's interesting. You're bringing Omega on a map filled with water. We'll have to see how it plays out. The Dobermans are doing a very processor-intensive simulation of the battle in the background.
Yeah, they are.
Trying
it's gonna get loud.
Trying to predict who's going to come out on top based on their very advanced Doberman simulations. I think Donut is playing the role of Autorun in this matchup.
Hey! It's the older one.
Bring me that bone. Bring me that bone.
Hey!
Jugler FB sounds. Yeah, that's fairly true, actually. Sometimes when I'm playing, very rarely with the sound on, and Jugler does that one particular voice line, the howl, both the Dobermans get very intrigued. Okay, Autorun just shuffling Kyra around a little bit. To threaten up here.
Nice lily pads.
Do you like the little cannons on the ships, too?
I do.
Ah, Gold Magistrate, that's a pretty interesting idea. Yeah, that's kind of interesting. I have a feeling I would be able to guide Free Kong to victory over a Mrs. Kong piloted Main Kong. I have a feeling. I don't want to disparage her skills too much. Yeah, I mean, Helena still had her action available, Vermilion, so whether she was already in range was not so much the point. It was more exerting pressure or control on that side of the map. So Tradey's Kyra catches a breeze now. With turn priority. Let's see how he's going to open proceedings here. Haha, Mr. Sad, don't worry too much. The game is not over yet. Although it sounds from the sounds of the chat, you might be outnumbered. There are a lot of Tradey fans here in this chat.
Why can't they just push them over the drawbridge?
They're allowed to go in the water.
Are the cannons operational?
No.
Oh, that sucks.
They're decorative. Yeah. Tradey's taking some time here to figure out exactly how he wants to get out into the open. All these units are just poised, waiting to pick something off. So we can't see it normally when you're playing Mrs. Kong. when you click on a unit, you can see there'll be like red flashing tiles to show how far they can go, how far they can threaten. But we can't see that just as spectators. So Tradey is looking at a bunch of red here that shows the places that it's dangerous to move to. So this is where having that backup time comes in handy, because he's trying to figure out where he needs to move to be able to launch his own attack safely. Omega moving back, presumably to keep him safe in case Tradey wants to come in with this Kyra.
Ooh.
And Kyra is going to come in. She's given the Ares instead of the Omega at this point. Easily takes him out.
I honestly don't know how you can keep any of this straight in your head.
The Dobermans have transitioned from mad to sad.
Yeah.
I think Applesauce must have put all her tickets on Autorun too. That's why she started crying now. Shake it off, buddy. Is Applesauce dead? No, Applesauce has a revive.
Should I call PETA?
Sassy. Autorun is still trying to control the center, but he's a little bit on the back foot now. This Kyra still has another attack up her sleeves. I know, you just ate. So what do you want now? You want to play?
Who picks the map?
The map is random.
Okay.
If you're just playing with your friends, like you can challenge your friend to a duel. So I could play with Tristan right now. And then you can pick the map and you can pick who goes first. But in competition, it's randomly selected.
Is there any advantage to a particular map?
Yeah, there are some advantages. Like, different maps have different features. So, like what Moondoggy was saying at the start of this map, because there's so much water here, it would have favored certain soldiers over other soldiers. Here comes your menacing Omega, looking to do some damage. So he takes out the Kyra, and then he can kind of retreat back to safety. So Kyra essentially trades for Ares there. The Helenas are still dangerous. There's a lot of weapons on both sides. There are other maps that... Oh, thanks for the follow, by the way, the Couch Plays. I saw your little Seal Guardian animation there, but your name didn't come up for a minute. There are other maps that are more covered with, like, forest and grassland, and those are better suited to other characters. So there's one character who gives your whole team bonuses if they're on trees. So if you have a map that's covered with trees, then that character becomes more favored. So people will often put those kind of conditional characters in their backup box. So if that map comes up, they can then sub them in and try to benefit from it.
That makes sense.
So Omega, toast. Helena able to charge in and take that Omega out. And then splash some AoE around. That Helena's going to be hard to kill now. Does a full assassin Kyra kill... Well, I guess we're going to find out. Helena on her tiles. No, not quite. Not quite. Alright, well thanks for the reminder, Toki. I don't think you told me that before, but it's good to know. It's good to know that's who you are. Yep, that's a definitive no. T-Jess should be able to finish her off, but taking 2 characters to trade for a character like that kind of hurts. Well, I guess we still have Helena here too. We have to deal with this tank at some point. Well, yeah, boy, if this ends up being the upset, it's pretty exciting and dramatic for it to come in the grand finals. Alright, T-Jess able to finish off that Helena without wasting her 3C, so she still has that up her sleeve. So Autorun is going to have turn priority. So he's going to put the pressure on by going in with Helena right away. This is more to splash AoE on the rest of the team than in any serious hope of getting through that tank. The more damage on Lucretia, the less effective she'll be. And that's archers against Cavs, so Helena's okay there. What's the play? Recoup. Looks like the ball is still in Tradey's court, to be honest. Bozel is always scary. You've got a tank, and you've got Lucretia, who can kind of do it all. Lucretia has her puppet as well, so she has her revive, she has her teleport. Yeah, Kyra's not doing too much at this point. Jess herself is going to have a more difficult time getting through this tank. Autorun's in a tough position here.
Is that why his little screen turned red? Or was it always red?
This thing?
Yeah, does that mean that he's in...
No, that's just like blue and red is just player 1, player 2.
I thought it meant that he was in trouble.
Whether someone's in trouble or not is actually... It can be hard to... Not always super objective, I guess what I'm saying. Because there can be sneaky players who come up with interesting strategic plays to get themselves out of trouble. But you can see here, like, which units from each team have been killed, so...
Okay.
I mean, Tradey has lost 2 characters, and Autorun has lost 2 characters. It's just a question of what the remaining characters... Can still do against the other remaining characters.
Well, that's fair.
is an interesting threat from Tradey. Eliminates the Kyra. Oh yeah, one sad thing is you don't have the audio, because I have the headset on, so you can't hear them like screaming and stuff.
No.
So that's all it takes. Tradey actually goes 2-0 against previous Season 5 champion Autorun, winning a lot of people a lot of money, losing some people a little money. So, wow.
Rip my tickets.
And we have a new champion. Tradey has not been the Apex Arena champion before, so this is a new first-time champion for Tradey.
No, my money. Oh.
Yeah, I will say GG's. Good game to both players. Exceptionally nicely played on Tradey's side. So that's the grand finals. So that means that everyone else should be getting their playoff or top 512 rewards. What, tomorrow? Or Thursday? Tomorrow, I think. Titan Bradicus is calling it now. He's going to be the champion next season. Moondoggy back again, gifting more subs tonight. OMG, it's KFC. And Pete. Welcome to the channel, courtesy of Moondoggy. Moon is flush with all the money he just won by betting on Tradey, so he's paying it forward to the chat here. Sergey, love and support to Mr. and Mrs. Kong.
Oh, that's
good
nice.
night, Sergey. Have a good night. 2.9 million gold for Greenwinkle. Nice. Yes, thanks everyone for coming out to the stream. If you have any parting questions for Mrs. Kong before we take off, then we'll stick around and have a little bit of a chat before we go. I lost money because I did bet my free tickets on Autorun, but I'm looking forward to getting my 60 scrolls and 2,500 crystals tomorrow from being in the playoffs for the first time this year. So that will go to the Dark Matthew stash. Pretty excited about that. When will Mrs. Kong next do Should You Summon? Big fan. Big fan. Chung. Probably April Fool's again, although it's not really a surprise if we do it on a set schedule.
Reading those names, oh my lord.
Yeah, but I think it could be. It doesn't need to be a surprise. We can make it a standing April Fool's thing, and I'll probably just try to April Fool you by making it an episode with a lot of more difficult character names. What does silver rank get for Apex? Well, you don't get end of season rewards for silver rank. Yeah, for sure. I'll read questions out to you if they come in.
I'm going to sit with the Dobermans.
Mrs. Kong is going to the Doberman station. So, if you're looking at silver, if this is as high as you get, then you're basically just looking at weekly rewards, Titan. You're not going to get end of season rewards, other than the skin for the troops. So, the end of season rewards go up to everyone who is in the top 512, which I think was gold 2 or maybe gold 1 this season. But pretty decent rewards. Since I made it into the top 256 and then lost my first playoff match, I'm getting Arena Stone choose 5. I get 6 choose 5, so 30 Arena Stones, which is great because that's a big rare resource for me. And then 60 enchants. Thanks for joining us, Mrs. Kong. I hope you know Mr. Kong is one of the most appreciated content creators in the community. You can be proud of him. That's from Moon Dreamer.
So nice.
Isn't that nice? Thank you very much for sharing that. When Rosen skin will be in the shop? Latonin, that should be in a couple weeks. It usually doesn't happen right away. They need time to put the wrong name on the skin first, and then have everyone in the community complain, and then replace it with the correct name. Alright, so we got the whole Grand Championship done in about an hour. Yes, Najin, the free tickets do carry over for the next season. So if you have any tickets that you didn't spend, I know there are a few people in the chat who mentioned that they forgot to gamble for this whole playoffs. You can keep them until next season, and then wait till the playoffs and stock them up and use them then. Yeah, that part of that problem is on me. I know my name is not the most unique and rare name. I sometimes joke to people, like, at least there aren't any other people named Kong. Oh, thanks for the comment, Snacks, and thanks for coming out to the stream. Always glad to have you all here. Alright, if no one has any final questions for Mrs. Kong or for Applesauce, since she seems to have settled down with a bone by now, then I'm going to call that a stream, and I'm going to go and eat a giant hoagie. I think it's time to consume a submarine sandwich. New player here. Only here for 2 months now, but gotta say, love your content, Kong. Thanks for your help. Decided to pull Light of Genesis. Well, I'm glad you got her. She's a big help, especially for a new account. She can pretty much do anything, so congrats on summoning her, and thank you for the kind comment. Tell Mrs. Kong that Kong is a great guild member.
Oh, good.
I'm just there to help Johnny crack the whip, and you know it. Alright, bye, Moondoggy. Thanks for coming out, and thanks for those gifted subs. Moondoggy says bye, Mrs. Kong.
Bye.
Alright, everyone. Thanks for coming to the stream. Enjoy your winnings, and don't go too hard on the people who voted for Autorun. They're going to be licking their wounds for a little bit yet. Next stream from me is probably going to be some more casual mode Ancient Beckoning, because Apex is dead for at least a few weeks. We're not sure when it's coming back, but one thing we do have coming up is Fenrir, and you know my man, my new Transcender, is on faction for Fenrir, so I'm going to try to do a kind of a meme run using Transcender in Ancient Beckoning for that fight. So I imagine I'll stream that. And I'm not sure what else I have coming up soon. But yeah, we'll basically see maybe some scrims before Apex next season. So catch you all then. Happy Langrissing, everyone.